What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. We are back with another classic. This is our third Vlogmas and our third year running survival disc golf, where we're going to play 9 holes, but we have no idea which ones they are. And once we use it, we lose it. But before we dive in, I have to ask the most important question of the day. How are you doing today, Jonah? Are you having a good day? As we mentioned in the intro, concept of survivor disc golf, very simple. I've got 9 envelopes that my wife made for me that go in sequential order of different holes that we're going to play. So hole 1, this envelope tells me what hole we're going to be playing first. It doesn't have to necessarily be hole 1, but by the time we get to hole 18, we will have played all 9 holes. Now, we could be done on like hole 12. It just depends on what she's got available for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk to the tee box of hole 1 and I'm going to open the envelope to see where I'm either playing hole 1 or walking forward to the next option. Now, the tricky part about this whole scenario is I have a bag of 10 discs, one of them being the roach that I'm going to be putting with the whole time, and I'll explain why here in a second. But the other 9 discs that I have, once I use it, you can kind of think of this as 9 one-disc challenges worked all throughout the course. So I have 9 frisbees or discs here that I have for this challenge, and I kind of have to make the decision as I'm going through the course what holes I'm going to use, because like I said, once we use it, we lose it. So what's in the bag? Part of this list has been generated by today's sponsor. You'll hear a lot more about them after the second hole, but DiscRPM is a great bag website where you can display your bag, join communities and things like that. And they actually generated some stats for me across their website, the most popular moles that exist. So amongst the putters, approach discs, mid-ranges, fairways, and drivers, the most bagged discs out there, and I chose one from each of those sections. So actually for the putters, the roach is up there as one of the most popular discs that are in bags, so I'm going to be putting with that all day. For a throwing putter that was in there was actually the Dynamic Discs Judge. For the approach category, we have the Toro by Innova Champion Discs. Had to represent my boy Calvin. I, as a pig lover, don't throw this too often, so always got to get the chance to get the Toro. Some love for mid-range, the Hex by Axiom Discs. Got to keep that gyro in there, super cool option. And this Fission Hex, I don't think that I've like actually ever thrown it, so brand new Fission Hex. For fairway driver, the funny part is for most popular fairway drivers, they're actually all Innova options, but the Eagle has always been near and dear to my heart. One of my favorite molds. I don't bag it currently because the Stalker is in its place, but man, I'm so excited to have this guy back in the bag and throw it. Stalker should be nervous because it could reignite my love for that disc. And as for the distance driver, we actually have the Wave by MVP. Let's think. We got Discraft DD, Innova, Axiom, Innova, MVP, but that's only 5 discs and we're doing a 9 disc challenge. So I had to pull some discs from my bag, and also you'll notice this isn't my standard Pioneer that I'm using. I'm actually using my wife's bag because I have a smaller amount of discs. So I'll go ahead and say that because I'm using my wife's bag, I had to use a disc from her bag. So I actually have the Pearl in here. This will be interesting. Throwing the Pearl, lightweight, easy to throw fairway or easy to throw mid-range. We also have Precious Child, has a Vendetta on this course. The closest I've ever been to an ace on my own channel on a first throw off the tee was this course right here. So had to bring her back for revenge. Polecat, got to be there as well. And then we're closing it out with the Felon. So we've got 5 mid-ranges and faster and 4 putters in the bag. So should be a good time. We're going to head to the tee box of hole 1. Let's see if we're actually playing it. It is a massive hike up that hill. So if I'm out of breath, sure, you can say I'm out of shape, but anyone who's ever been to Inverness, I give the hill to the red and then start recording a video and see how you sound. Let's see what we got here. Don't worry, Jesse. All the trash coming with us. We don't have the bright colored envelopes like we've had in years past. I think that Lindsay said she threw them all away, but we actually have our wedding station area is what she used, but wow. 3rd year of doing this, and we've never actually played hole 1. New world, new time, new life. All right, I'll go ahead and let you know we're playing to the yellows here. There are 2 baskets, there's prodigies, and there's yellow disc catchers. We're gonna play the disc catchers on every single hole possible, but this one, dead straight on this ridge, plays uphill for the first 50 to 60 feet of this hole, 289 feet. So once you get up there, it is like a 230 or 240 foot shot. There's a big thick tree right there kind of standing out on its own. Kind of want to just throw at it and then let it fade back in after that. This may be a mistake, but we're actually going to go hex here and try to kind of throw the hex flat and let it push and then fade back in. It's a brand new hex. I think that the hex is becoming a disc that a lot of people are misrepresenting. I think that's because you see a lot of power throwers who are getting a lot of movement left and right out of the hex. But unless your hex is really, really beat in, these things definitely start with some stability to them. So we're gonna see what we can do here, throwing right at that big tree. Now, tricky part here, big hill off to the right, whole right side's OB. So we can quickly take a 4 here. Okay, that rose a lot. Like, there must be some wind when we get out there that we're gonna feel that's gonna be like, oh, dang. I think we're actually gonna be closer to the B position, which is a little offline, but should be in theory an easy 3. Remember how I said that it might have headed towards the blue basket and how I made this whole big stink about we're gonna play in the yellows? Unfortunate. Now it's upside down, so I do think that it probably rolled down here because there's definitely some hills. And the worry of this playing solo is you can hear all the crunch. There's a lot of leaves on the ground, so really hard to frame this one up, honestly, to get you guys a shot. So I'm gonna throw this putt's basket's right there. I'm gonna throw this putt and then try to get out of the way. See what Brody's roach is made out of. Pretty poor effort. And we left ourselves a good bit. Yeah, that was a better effort. Now the roach, obviously one that, like I said, we're gonna be putting with the entire time. So this is not a like use it and lose it. I just figured it'd be fun to try to putt with something different. See if the roaches ended up doing something for us that was like, oh man, that's kind of crazy. Once again, for anyone who's ever like actually played this course, taking a par on hole 1 is something that like honestly feels like a weight off of your shoulders, because the first 2 holes of this course play so difficult, and I've seen so many amateurs screw this one up. I tell people when you're playing Inverness, make sure that you actually like kind of view holes 1 and 2 as their own course, and then mentally reset heading into 3 through 18. Alrighty, let's see what we got for hole 2. Hole 2, we are going to be playing. Oh, okay, come on with it. Hole 2, we're playing hole 2. It's straightforward. And I know my wife, I know she's trying to, you know, bait me into comfort, baiting me into feeling like, oh, this is gonna be good. You're gonna do great things. Trying to carry straight. Basket sits on top of that hill. It's kind of like big hill that's kind of flat for a little bit and then drops off dramatically. And then to get to the green, the last 100 feet of the hole, you are climbing severely uphill. 321 feet, but yeah, the sign says that it's over 30 feet of elevation from the bottom of the hill up to the top. 30 feet doesn't seem like that much, but it's 30 feet of elevation change, so you're kind of looking straight up. This is a tricky one because I'm trying to think of the shots that we have. I could see the pearl being a great option here and just kind of push it straight and see what it does. But the right side is definitely more jail here than anywhere else. All right, I think I'm gonna go with the eagle here because I like the idea of the wave, but there's another hole coming up that we could possibly play in hole 12 where the wave being able to stand up and ride could be a really cool shot opportunity, but we're gonna go eagle here. Try to stand it up and just mush this thing as far as possible. It's been so long since I've thrown an eagle, so I have a chance, I have a feeling that if I don't get on it, it's gonna fade. And once again, right side's the danger, not the left side. So let's see what we can do. Okay, we pushed it down there. Did what we needed to do. Should have a little chip shot up to the green, and hopefully once again, take our 3 and walk away. Starting even par at Inverness. I don't care what tees you're playing. You can see how cautiously I'm like stepping up here, trying to do this. The basket isn't, I mean, y'all, we're just trying to get some form of footing. The basket is, you've got tree 1 and then tree 2 that y'all are seeing on the right side. And then the basket is probably 20, 25 feet past the second tree. Probably isn't it, but the footing is so bad here. I mean, like, if I step out here, I got a little chip forehand. That's probably what we're gonna do. I wish I could say I'm gonna like throw this and get out of the way, but I think that's gonna create injury. So we're gonna see what we can do. Oh, oh. Now if it's sat, that's gonna be amazing. You probably can't hear it based on the fact of me slipping and almost dying. But that hit metal. That hit the pole. Really, the trick here, guys, is that I had to set the camera up hoping that it doesn't fall or anything on this hill, simply so we could tap in our par. 2 discs down, 2 holes down, 2 pars on probably 2 of the hardest holes on the course. We want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, DiscRPM. As someone who runs a disc golf podcast where we help people try to improve their bags and look at sort of overlap and what do they have in there to open up different shot selection opportunities, DiscRPM has created a website and a tool that is absolutely unmatched on the market. There are 3 features that I really love about DiscRPM. The first, entirely free. You have the opportunity to upload your bag and have access to all the community features at no cost. The second is the ability to upload custom pictures of your disc so that when you're scrolling through, especially if you're in one of the many communities that are on the website, you can scroll through and see the awesome dies and stamps and foils that people have in their bag to get a really realistic picture of the disc they're throwing. For me personally, when we're giving disc recommendations and I'm looking at someone's bag, when I'm viewing it on DiscRPM, I can tell if it's that really beat-in mantis that looks like it's seen a lot versus, oh, it's just a brand new mantis that I know how that's gonna fly. Those subtle differences make it so easy and awesome because every disc has a story to tell. And the third feature I've hinted at as well, and that is the communities. The communities create such a cool opportunity for you to connect with others, see what they're doing, as well as there's soon to be a disc recommendation feature that's going to look at how you're throwing, how far you're throwing, and what's in your bag to give you some disc options that you may not have considered. It's a fantastic tool, and it's one that I can definitely get lost in for hours just scrolling through all the different players' bags on DiscRPM already. So what are you waiting for? Head over to DiscRPM and put in your bag today. Another thing that I'll tell people if you come play this course is that there are 3 water break opportunities. Elevation change is crazy out here, guys. 1 water break opportunity is the walk from 2 to 3. Another one is the walk from 6 to 7. And the last one is 11 to 12. Hole 18, you take a water break, but it's because you're done. All right, hole 3 opportunity here. Try not to get too comfortable because I just have a feeling that there's no way that we're playing holes 1, 2, and 3. You know, I've been wrong in the past before. The big bummer here, right, is obviously the more holes that we play consecutively, she knows that she has 9 holes she's got to grab. So there's a very real chance that we could be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we only have 5 holes left. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So we could go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump all the way to 14. Really is only 1 disc for this hole. Got to use the polecat here. We've used 2 of the DiscRPM discs. We've used the mid-range they suggested, and we've used the fairway driver they suggested, and it netted us pars, like I said, on 2 of the hardest holes. So there's something to it, y'all. Y'all are picking some good frisbees out there. This hole is nicknamed. Another fun thing about this course is that all the holes are named. This one's nicknamed Crazy 8 because Michael Johansson played this hole, and it went so poorly for him, he actually took an 8 on this hole. So a lot of rollaway potential waiting for us on the other side. But it is just 230 feet, dead straight, sitting. You got skinny tree in the middle of the hill, and the basket's kind of hiding in the shade just right of it. So let's see what we can do. If that sits, that's like possibly a little too much speed, but it's a polecat, so hopefully it just went over that hill and grabbed and sat down, because if it did, we are absolutely parked. I told you guys, it's a 1 speed. What a time is this? I mean, I've said it so many times in this video already, but if you guys have played this course before, You know how excellent of a feeling that is. 1 under through 3 holes. Lindsay, what are you doing? Trying to make this too easy for me this year? We're on to hole 4. 3 down, we're on to hole 4. And you have I'm telling you, I see that plan. I see that plan unfolding. She's gonna burn me on the big long walk. The big long walk, but that's okay because I got a stable Toro for this one. This one's in the A position at 246 feet. You can see a blue basket that's in the fairway. Now, I would say on most holes, the baskets don't really interfere with one another. This course is also so funny because it's like so heavily wooded, as you guys are seeing, but it's like heavy woods in the middle of a populated like residential area. So there's Inverness Highway that runs right next to it, and you forget that it's there until you play it in the winter. The key here is you just want to hold straight on the forehand. You don't really want to yank it left. Obviously, early right can be death. So first forehand of the day. Let's see what we can do here. Shout out to Trevor Staub, who dropped a video saying like tips that instantly made him better at disc golf. And he said, respect the ground and expect the ground to be the ground. Can't throw the ground expecting flare skips. Could it have flare skipped off of that? Absolutely. But I got under the leaves instead of pouncing off of them, and it stuck. Basket's right there. Nice, the yellow basket. This one's tricky, just as a simple approach, because normally I would just throw my polecat on an upshot here. I feel like it's cheating to pull the roach out and putt with it. So we're gonna kind of just go like a little, I don't know, because I don't really want to punch a putt there. This is one where the basket's definitely in the way. Let's see what we can do. Remember that whole thing about expect the ground to be the ground? Easy peasy when you ground skip it like that. I mean, come on, brethren. What are we doing? Playing out of our minds right now. Although, to be fair, the birdie that we got was with the disc that we normally throw, so. Pars with a disc that we don't normally throw. Okay, so one thing that I'm actually immediately noticing about the Toro is this thing, I mean, literally, I got this when they released like Calvin Signature, Tour Series, whatever. I guess it's Tour Series, Signature is different. So it's kind of just been chilling on a shelf ever since. 2 forehands there. I didn't mind it necessarily. I can definitely still feel like the shallowness vibes. But what's interesting here is that the Toro, I feel like this one's puddle topping already. Is that a case for you Toro throwers out there? Like, do these puddle top really easily? Because that's kind of nasty if it does. I mean, it gives you a groove track without actually having a groove track. Hole 5 though, coming in. I am gonna be shocked if that says 5 right now. I'm gonna be shocked. Yeah, that's right. Okay, she's doing it. Hole 10. Hole 10. Oh, I've just connected the dots on where hole 10 is. Hole 10's bad. We gotta walk. I mean, straight up a mountain. All right, so I'm gonna keep it a hundo with you, you know? You always gotta keep it real. Keep it real for the people. I hiked so much there, my shirt became unbuttoned. So we've been playing the reds, which are the short pads, pretty much the entire time. But the red pad for hole 10 just films horribly. The hole is super fun because it's just straight downhill. I mean, it is straight that mountain that we were talking about. You can kind of see the mountain like up to the right there. So I'm playing the red pad, but because it films so horribly, and I don't know this is gonna be much better because unfortunately the sun is just right there. But we're going forehand. We're gonna go felon here. Brought a moonshine felon from my bag. So from here, it plays as 391 feet as a par 3. So instantly we're gonna bring trouble back into play. But let's see if we can't do something cool here. A little flex forehand. Can't yank on this one too much because I don't think it's gonna have the stability if we really yam on it to get out there. But let's see what we can do here. So hard when I literally can't see. Like I said, sunglasses would have been nice here. I mean, I got right here in my swing, and as soon as I stepped up, the sun was just like, pow, right in the eyeballs. So we've got about 115 feet left into the green. If that, definitely faded out too early. But we're gonna go for a sort of low flexor right at the basket here. I think you could be tempted to punch through that line, but if you punch through that line, you got to flirt with the tree that's waiting for you dead straight, and then it's going to fade out too early because it is a felon. So we're going to go just pull a little ante here. Just have to throw it low enough that it doesn't burn into the ground, but it also misses the low ceiling right there. Here we go. It's perfect. It's perfect. I will say, to step up and make this hole feel so easy, A, it's actually not that easy of a hole, and B, that just makes me feel really good about shot selection, what we've been doing, and how we've been improving just overall on the year. Game's feeling really good right now, guys. It's feeling really good. Once we get this backhand like yoinks of, I feel like I can throw a full power shot without worrying about grip locking right all the time. I mean, really, this grip lock right issue dates back to May at least, and we're still dealing with it. So just taking time, guys, just taking time. I mean, I'll tell you, I think bandanas are completely necessary for cowboys, just because even the straw guys, it's very warm for your head. So it's just giving me a whole lot of sweat, which is probably also why, even though I've been drinking a lot of water, that I'm just breaking out a ton right here. It's just because I'm packing in sweat and letting it just sit on my face for the entirety of filming. So if you skincare folks got ideas, I'm all ears. We got 4 holes left. We got the Judge, the Pearl, the Wave, and the Pig. So I'm starting to worry, depending on what holes we get here, how it's gonna go. Hole 6, playing hole 12. Playing hole 12. That's not bad. Our gamble paid off on hole 2 because we wanted to have the wave for this shot, and we still got it. DiscRPM, let's see if your streak continues with good classic disc being in the bag. We'll see if it's good to keep it in. 3 hills here. Hill 1, right there. Hill 2, just beyond. There's the blue basket that you may or may not be able to see on hill 2. Barely clears hole 1. Good drive. You're on top of hole 2. And then the rare, amazing drives are hill 3 off in the distance. The key here is you want to throw something that's going to stand up a little bit and push, but it can't be too fast because you're going to hit that back wall on hill 2 really fast. Too much hyzer, it's going to push left, and then birdie's pretty much instantly off the table. Like I said, if you throw in your dead middle of hill 2, it's just another hyzer around the corner. Now, throwing 2 chip hyzers with an 11 speed, we'll see how it goes. Fission Wave. And that's what we worried about. We worried about the 2 straight, too fast. I mean, the wave is nasty, guys. That thing stood up so effortlessly. I mean, it was cooking. It just needed to start fading. I'm not gonna say that birdie's entirely off the table, but depending on what it looks like in there, it's a weird hole in that when you're on the 2nd hill, right side's better than being left. But as soon as we get to the 3rd hill, left side's better than right. Kind of zigzags. I should have said this. It's a 436 foot par 4, but the line is, I mean, it's so precise to get all the way there. I've never seen, the best drives I've ever seen have been on the 3rd hill, probably 20 or 30 feet onto the 3rd hill. So I've never seen the eagle here. I've got a punch hyzer if I go high all the way through there. I can just kind of hyzer in and see what we get. This is a low ceiling line throwing uphill. I think that's our best bet, is going sort of punch hyzer, just a ton of hyzer, and we gotta try to get lucky. The first branch wasn't terrible. The second branch was horrific. to knock it like back right. All right, so Birdie Fam members, Birdie Fam is my Patreon community where we're looking to improve one stroke at a time. One of the main places that you interact with that community is over on Discord. While I'm shooting this video, I was asking them what I should stream this afternoon for Robbie C Gaming. And I mentioned that I was out here at this course, which is right next door to one of my moderators. And he sent me this gif of like, how dare you film out there without me? And I texted, I don't know how the rest of the video is gonna go, but right now we're doing pretty well through 5. And that was literally while I was walking to this hole. It's what I get for karma. And the trees just want to really push me into this mess on the right, because no matter what tree I'm hitting today on this hole, I've hit 1 tree, 2 tree, 3 tree. I hit 3 trees, 3 throws, and they have all pushed me to the right. From where the drive landed, I would not have thought, oh, this is going to be a crazy par save, because like I said, that right side, you can throw straight into that mess, and I would truly say 50% of the time you end up with a clear open gap to pitch into here, pitch in, take your 4, pretty simple. And the other 50% of the time you're in the mess, even in the winter where like everything should be dead. Let's see what we can do with this roach. We gave it the power, just a little too much height. That was a line, but not enough height. That's okay, we take a 5 here. We go back to par. We got 3 holes left. I'm not really sure why we have like a small outdoor living room situation going on here now, but I guess we'll take it. I mean, literally, y'all. We got 1 table, 2 table, 3 tables, 3 benches. If you don't have the space for your holiday season next year, coming out to Inverness, hole 13. Now, we got 3 holes left. We've got a pig, a judge, and a pearl. Not great options, but there's really not a ton of like long holes left. I would say worst case scenario holes for me right now are, we don't play this one. I would say worst case scenario is that this card says hole 14. Because if it says 14, then I'm in a predicament on what I want to throw on 15, 16, and on 15 through 18, because that's going to leave me with a really straight shot, a really straight shot, a really big hyzer, and a really straight shot. So I got 3 straight shots, and throwing the pearl on one of those straight shots is going to be tough. Yeah, worst case scenario here, this says 14. So here we go. Y'all, cue up the music, Silas, because it's time for the Robbie C Revenge Tour on hole 15. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 discs in my bag that are quite iconic and quite familiar. It's Precious Child, this pig right here, and this polecat right here. And I have never, not second shot, not 4th shot, no times have I been standing on a tee box and thrown this disc into the basket. But the first time that we played this survival disc golf round, I stepped up to this hole, hole 15, the basket sitting just a mere 154 feet away from me. I pull out the pig with all my hopes and dreams, and I throw this shot. Oh, that hurts. So here we are with another opportunity. Every time that I've played this course since that moment, I've taken this disc and tried to put it in that bucket. But today, the waiting stops. The people are ready, and I'm gonna throw my ace. Dang it. Man, I really wanted that. That would have been so cool. Here you go, Brody. At least making my hopes and dreams a little better with a birdie. So much for a cool, epic moment. But alas, we got 2 holes left. Hole 8. 8th hole. And we're playing, that's right, hole 16. We got 2 discs left. We got the judge, RPM, closing it out, DiscRPM, last adjusted disc. The wave really ruined things for them because they were going to be like, oh man, we got pars with every single one of them. They're all great. It's 189 feet, just dead straight. It's downhill, but it's on maybe a 5 to 6 foot wide ledge. The ledge or walking path is about as wide as this tee pad. Basket sits right there, massive drop off to the right, massive hill to the left. So if you come in too high, hits the hill, rolls away. Coming too low, hits the hill, rolls away. You kind of just want to throw it straight and flat and let it kind of nestle down. I would throw the pearl, but like I said, that's Lindsay's. And if it stands up and moves to the right, there is water on the whole right side of the hole. So we don't want to lose one of her discs. So we're not going to lose any discs because it's going in the bucket. That's so long. Whew, that came out of my hand, honestly, super clean. That was fantastic. Just so much glide. It flew so far. Got it just outside the circle. Look. Whew. Tricky part here is, gotta get this thing flat because if it comes out on hyzer, it's going down the hill. Well, tripod interference saved us. Thankfully, tripod, like I said, tripod interference really came in clutch because it literally landed between the base of the tripod. Wow, that's crazy. While we're standing here, let's go ahead and just open our last envelope. See which tee box we're walking to. Hole 17. Okay, looks like we're not even playing the water hole. We're playing the location on the right, and we have the pearl left. Man, this could be a highlight reel moment. Also, we're getting to the end of Vlogmas, so you guys just let me know what are some challenges and things that we did during this year's Vlogmas that you thought was really fun or that you enjoyed. Also, I've done 3 different really like besides the challenge videos kind of fillers. We did level up last year. This year we kind of did a hodgepodge of stuff. What do you guys like for that alternative content for the non-challenge videos? Or do I just full send it for the month of December and just not do necessarily teaching content and just do 25 crazy wacky challenges? Y'all let me know. All right, so our last hole, there's kind of like a tunnel that you can see right to the right, and it's hard to capture it on camera, but at the end of that tunnel, the basket's sitting right there. So you could be so bold as to just throw a bullet straight through there, and when the grass is dead, it's kind of open, which makes it nice. We have the pearl. This is from Latitude 64. It's easy to throw line. 4.6 minus 4.0, and it comes in weighing 154 grams. Should be super flippy. The key here is to let the disc do the work and let it turn for me, not mush it too hard. But also, I'm gonna have to throw it because I need it to turn, and I can't let it fade out from throwing it too nose up and things like that. So here we go. Let's see what we can do. It kicked a tree. That came out of my hand so clean. I mean, that looked amazing. And then it kicked a tree and went really far right. So we'll see if we're down the hill, if we're in a savable spot. But man, we grab a birdie here. Grab a birdie here. We end under par, which I don't think we've done in survival disc golf ever. That'd be sick. Remember that time on the last hole where I said that I wanted to throw the pearl, but that was Lindsay's disc? And then I stepped up on this hole where there's no water, but there is a sea of drowning hopes and dreams yonder where your window breaks. So if you play hole 17 at Inverness, there may be a pearl there. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. Because I just lost one of her discs, she doesn't play that often. So I may be able to replace it. It'd be a really fun moment. She's gonna be in a video here in a couple days here on the channel. She'll watch that one. I know she'll watch that one. But you could say, hey, really enjoyed seeing you in the videos and things like that. She's been on a couple videos here lately. if anyone, any disc dyers out there, if you can get your hands on a gold line pearl and you want to dye it, I'll commission you. Just let me know. If you're interested, shoot me a message on Instagram. She's a Ravenclaw. Big Harry Potter fan. She's a Ravenclaw, so you could do a Ravenclaw dyed pearl. We could just surprise her. We could say, that way she didn't even worry about that pearl being done. Because she's just like, oh, yeah, cool. This is a great new disc. And it goes in her bag. That's my bet. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. So, final score. We're just going to say took a big L on that one yeah, losing my wife's disc. Whoops. Through nine other discs if you count the Roach, and didn't lose any of those. But my wife's, she gone. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought down below. But in the meantime, we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Vlogmas. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, we're gonna leave you with the birdie.